Hi, I'm Annie Kopak with ESTv, here with 2018 SBP candidate Ian Wilson. Ian, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
All right, first question. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're running for SBP?
Yeah, so I'm a junior here at King's. I'm from Anchorage, Alaska. I'm a transfer student, but I transferred here after my freshman year. I'm a Chamberlain for the House of Ronald Reagan. I worked in admissions for 2 years. Yeah, I feel like the role of SBP needs to just kind of be just recast in terms of its vision. I think that there's a lot of emphasis placed on how the SBP is a kind of behind the scenes structural innovator kind of person, and I think that the SBP role would be more effective if it was more relational, more kind of in the trenches with students in every day. And so I think that there's been some really good momentum that's been happening over this last year within King's with the current council team in place, but I think that I just really wanted to kind of step into this, and I think for me, it's just an opportunity to tell myself, that I'm not checked out for this next year. I want to be involved in the community. I want to kind of participate in this ongoing conversation about what the community of King's will look like.
Are there any issues that you see are affecting the strength of the community at King's? And if so, what are some tangible possibilities we can use to alleviate these issues?
Yeah, so I think one of the biggest issues I see is just, it seems like we kind of have this identity crisis of whether we're a Christian school or whether we're not a Christian school. And I think that kind of trickles down into how we implement the honor code, kind of the expectations for leadership within the school. And so I think that that is kind of because there's not really a unified voice from the students, kind of all with a really clear end goal for where they want to be and what they want to do. I think that there's kind of this division at King's. You look at what the results from some of the spiritual life surveys that have been done and stuff, and there just isn't really a good feel that, okay, King's is moving in the right direction and people want to see things done for that. So I think practically the one thing I want to do is just kind of approach the role with humility and realize that I don't have all the answers to solving the solutions, and ask people for help, build a team around me that can really support me in my own weaknesses, and listen to what the community needs. I think it's dumb to kind of try to legislate from the top down solutions that might not work, that people on the ground can actually say, oh, well, this idea actually wouldn't work in practice because of X, Y, and Z. But one thing, since I've kind of said that spiritual life is something I want to focus on, one practical thing that I want to change is I think that the director of spiritual life should actually go to Eric Bennett, people like Dr. Bradley, people like Dr. Johnson and stuff, and just ask them, what are some of the most influential devotional books you've read? What are some of the best Bible studies you've seen? Because I'm a little bit wary too of just suggesting that we start more spiritual life groups without knowing that those spiritual life groups will actually be beneficial to students.
What do you hope to gain from this experience, from running a campaign to gaining a potential victory?
I think for me, the way I measure success in this campaign, it's already kind of happened for me actually, which is really encouraging actually, is, I measure success by just, I really want to be involved in the King's community going forward. I want to be present. I want to be an active voice in this community. And so even me just declaring to run for SBP in this interview is a huge step for me in just telling the students around me and also myself a little bit that, hey, I'm not going anywhere next year. I'm going to be here. And I think that this is the one time out of the year where we really intentionally focus on the direction of our community, how it's going and stuff. And you have people coming out of the woodwork to share their thoughts on what community at King's should look like. And I just really want to be a part of that conversation and have a chance to just speak into that and kind of shape it just a little bit.
Awesome. Okay, last question. You're hosting a dinner party and you can invite 3 people, dead or alive. Who would you invite?
I would invite King Alfred because he just did a lot of great things to reform his country. I'd like to pick his brain on how he did that, why he did it. Also love to meet Audrey Hepburn because she's just gorgeous. I'd love to chat it up with her about her time serving as a peace ambassador and all that. And then also probably just Ronald Reagan because, house namesake, gotta get him in somehow. So
yeah, that's awesome. Thanks so much for being with us, Ian. I hope you have a great campaign and best of luck.
Thanks, Annie.